gives us a clear picture on this, clear teaching and guidance that this universe at one point didn't exist. Allah, this is the name of God. Allah created this universe and created us for a reason. He did not create this universe as utopia, as paradise, as Jannah, as heaven, where there is no problems. He created this life for a test, so that we can be sure whether we deserve to go to a place which is heaven. So there is another place in the second life called the afterlife. This life, we will all die. Every single one of us will taste death. Every one of us. But within the lifetime that we have to fulfill our obligation, our purpose in life. If we do this, then the grace of God, paradise, tranquility, happiness, joy, bliss, comfort awaits us. If we don't fulfill our purpose and we become arrogant and stubborn, then those who are like this, they will go to a place of misery, suffering, torture, punishment, unhappiness in the afterlife. And in the afterlife, there is no death. It is a life forever. Whether life of happiness, of life of punishment. We have to choose which one we want to go to. Of course, you and I, we don't want to go to a place of punishment forever and ever. We want to go to a place of happiness and comfort and tranquility. That place we can go by fulfilling the purpose we are created for. Our purpose of creation is to worship God alone and none but God. Worship is not a term which means you only do certain rituals. Worship is everything that you do in your life that God is pleased with, and you do that in accordance with what He wishes you to do. So if you smile to your brother, that becomes charity, and charity is worship. If you remove an obstacle from the road, a thorn, a rock, anything that's going to harm others, that becomes charity, that becomes worship. Do you see how worship is not just going to a mosque and only fasting and praying and going to Hajj and giving zakat? Worship encompasses all our life's affairs. It's okay, all of it. Yeah? How we interact with other people.
What is your priority? Is God or is your goal in daily life?
No. Our priority is fulfilling our life in accordance with how God is pleased with. So there are rights of God, there are rights of human, there are rights of the environment, there are rights of animals, there are rights of creation. We have to.
What's your priority? Is God or is your, for example?
Okay, think about it. I will answer this question straight.
I ask you a question because one of my best friends has living in Paris from Morocco. He looks like Muslim, you know, and his priority is Allah. When I speak with him, he speaks only his Allah. He don't speak about his son, his wife. You know, he left in 3 years to Morocco to learn the Quran, to be teacher. You know, he gave up his wife and his son. He always is him, but his wife and son stay in Paris, and in him go for 3 years in Morocco. How do I understand? What is the love? What is the love? You know.
Sure.
That's why I say.
In Islam, of course, the priority is.
Islam, you have human being.
Okay.
You know?
In our belief, of course, the priority is the rights of God first. But it doesn't mean you forget and neglect the rights of others and rights of, for example, our Prophet ﷺ said, our own body has a right over us. Our own body has a right over us, that we need to look after it. We shouldn't commit suicide. We shouldn't harm our body. We should eat food which is healthy and nourishing and pure. We shouldn't really damage ourselves. Yep. Our wives or our spouse or our husbands have right over us. Yeah? So our spouse have right over each other. We cannot neglect them and just go somewhere and then that's it. You don't look after them, you don't talk to them, you don't care for them, you don't even talk to them. No, they have a right over you and you have a right over them. Our children have a right over us and we have a right over them. Likewise, the animals have rights. We cannot neglect them. The environment have rights. We cannot destroy our environment, pollute our environment. Do you understand that? But if you considered the prioritization of this, imagine an individual, think about 1 second, right? On this issue. Someone does everything. They look after themselves, look after their spouse, their husband, their wife, their children, their parents, the environment, the animals, but don't worship God. Do you think that individual should be rewarded by God in the hereafter? The one who said the reason why that person is created is to worship God. And that person neglects worshiping God, but gives everything else. You will say that doesn't sound right. That the one, it's like this. If you work for a company, sorry to use this mundane example from everyday life. If you work for a company, or an employer, wherever you work, right? At the end of the day, do you expect the wages, your salary, to be paid by someone else? Or your employer? Your employer. So why would they expect the reward to be given by God when they did not worship God, did not listen to God, did not obey God? Because all that God wanted, this worship, wasn't just, as I said, prayer and fast and zakat. Everything that you do in accordance with God's wishes, His approvals through the Prophet and his messengers, because the Prophet and messenger are sent to tell the people the will of God. So when you follow the will of God, obey the will of God, as described by the prophets and messengers, you are following God, you are worshipping God. So when the Prophet says, be just, and God says, of course, be just, be kind, be nice, be a witness standing firm in justice, speak the truth, even if it goes against you and your friend, your family, your kith and kin. You see how this is about justice? If you did that, you are worshipping God. If you are just, if you do justice, implement justice, encourage others to do justice, you are worshipping God. So worshipping God, as you can see, it's not something that is just some rituals. So yes, my friend, you have to prioritize the right of God foremost, and then the rest. If you don't prioritize the right of God, do everything else, you shouldn't expect the reward. Then what's going to happen to you hereafter? The one who created you, the one who guided you, the one who nourished you, the one who sustained you, is the one who's going to judge you on your belief and your actions in the hereafter. So if you want to know your abode, your home in the hereafter, which one it's going to be, the home in paradise, in Jannah, in heaven, in the garden, or a home in hellfire, in fire, you need to know who's going to give that home to you. The one who created you, your God. So you have to give him his right. You should not associate a partner with him. That's the right of God, that you worship him alone. Most people, whether they're atheists or theists, those believe or don't believe, somehow they revere something, give this reverence to someone. Either it's to God or to their country, their leader, a football star, a superstar, someone from cinema, someone they revere, right? Something or the other. It's inbuilt within you to show this reverence, respect, this kind of feeling, which is the actual utmost respect and reverence and servitude and gratitude is worship. So when we worship God, we are grateful to God. We are thankful to God. Yeah? We are showing our gratitude and our thankfulness, thanks to God. That's worship.
How to explain me one of my best friends, when I was married in the past, he say hello, he kissed my ex-wife, and one day he switched. One day he see you again, he didn't say hello. And I asked why. He say, because I'm Muslim, I can't say anything, I can't kiss today.
If I've understood you correctly, so you
question.
have a brother who has an ex-wife. No, you have a friend who has an ex-wife.
No, me, I have ex-wife.
You have ex-wife.
And one of my best friend is Muslim.
Okay.
In the past, 10 years ago, when you say hello, he made a kiss. And one day he switched. He didn't kiss. He just say with a hand. And I say why? Because for me it was a lack of respect. And he say, I can't say anything because I'm Muslim.
Okay.
And I have another French girl, it's a French with a white skin, with a blue eyes. She switched, she converted in Islam. And she wear, what is the name?
The hijab.
Yeah, hijab, She wear in Paris. Why she's strolling in the street, on the bus. The French, white, and the Muslim insult her in the street.
He hurt.
Yeah, the Muslim and the no-Muslim insult her. Say, why do you switch? You have a blue eyes. Why you are Muslim today? And one day she decided to remove because she suffered a lot for 3-4 years. And when she removed, she was happy and in peace. And I told myself why.
She was basically, when she removed it, that particular environment, she did not feel threat anymore. So when you feel threatened, for example, if somebody puts a gun on your head and say, dance like a monkey, you might dance like a monkey because you are threatened, right? Your life is in danger. If your life is not in danger, you won't do that. So Muslims are commanded, man and woman, to dress modestly. We have a dress code. Women have a specific dress code, men have a specific dress code. Woman has some extra dress code because of the way she is, beautiful, right? So she was told by God.
Because of the dress, she suffers every day. She receives every day insult.
The amount of suffering she is suffering, maybe in a country who do not understand and appreciate this. They think that
why God didn't help her,
the person should have helped her. People should have helped her. Whether you're a Muslim or non-Muslim, when you see someone oppressed, you should be helping. For example, if I see a woman oppressed, I don't have to ask the question first, is she a Muslim or non-Muslim, to help her. If I'm able to help, I should help. Would you not agree? If you are able to help, you should help. You should not ask, is she a Buddhist follower? Is she a Filipino? Or is she a Muslim? Or is she a Chinese? These shouldn't come into play. She's a human being, being oppressed, being harassed, about to be raped, whatever. We should be helping, regardless of who she is, in terms of her race, color, in terms of her language, in terms of her richness, in terms of her religion. We should help. Do you agree? So as Muslims, God has given us certain codes of life, how we interact in society, how we go about in society. We shouldn't go about in society naked, for example. Even this society, people wear clothes. Why? In summer, why do you wear clothes? It's so hot. But people still wear clothes because clothes is also something that helps cover our modesty. Some people cover so little and some people cover adequately, sufficiently in terms of modesty. In the early 1900 in England, do you know how women used to dress? English women in this country. If you saw them, you'd think they are Muslims wearing hijab. That was the sign of modesty then. But of course, the cultural understanding of the society has changed, where they want to be free and liberal. This liberal mindset have made them to go away from a full dress, to remove her dress up to here, to the ankle, to the knees, to the thighs, and now almost naked. Like us, you can almost see,
I have to go.
Yeah. So So what we're saying is, of course, we have to go. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, me too.
The question that you asked, just to summarize this question, if I can remember,